just destroyed its home. Might there be a spirit in there? Zephyr asked the
We'd
professor.
have to bring it to the sacrifice place.
Yes, we'd need to take a sacrifice down below when we've selected it.
If a vampire works, we could sacrifice the one in the coffin in there.
Yeah, we can do that. All
But
right.
I'm not optimistic.
Neither am I. But at this point, what are we going to do?
I think we should have a backup plan that's not me.
Right. Anybody whose name begins with a P?
P? Oh.
Or their title, maybe.
Well, yes, no, hopefully not, not trying to be sacrificed today. Maybe next couple of turns on the old trifold schedule.
Right. We'll see.
You may need to start producing more heirs soon, Professor.
Yes, well, I wasn't aware I'd be needing to feed them to the real estate, but, life gives you lemons.
It's not working! You hear Henrietta yell.
Oh, the poor dear.
Oh, never have children first, eh?
Pixel, you seem so sentimental.
You're not going to sacrifice me, are you?
No. And not our stony friend either, if we can help it. Oh, we can't even get to him, so it doesn't matter.
Zephyr walks back to Mokranum to see if he can help Mokranum with the books.
Yeah, Mokranum you see he was able to down a few books, but he's got probably 150 pounds worth of books that he still needs to choke down. And seems unable to for some reason.
Mokranum, I'll carry these books and I'll keep them for you for a bit.
Oh, that would be so nice of you, Zephyros. I appreciate if we don't tell the professor that I accidentally puked up his books.
Your secret is safe with me, buddy.
Yeah, they got a little bit wet here, a little bit sticky when I tried to put them back in, and they didn't go in, they came back out. Okay. Let's just put them in nice little piles here. Might as well just glue them together.
That's okay. I can use prestidigitation later to make them look good as
Oh,
new.
yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, they're all good still. See?
The books are kind of making a soggy sound.
Here's tries not to think about it. He's just picking them up.
Yep. You guys spend a good 10 minutes gathering and putting the books together. At this point in time, the mist has come down, and you can see a well-carved statue of a robed figure. You can't really tell what race or what figure is underneath the robes. It is humanoid. You're guessing human, but it could be any humanoid. It is holding up in statue form this stylized skull, and the skull has 2 emeralds in its eye sockets.
I assume they're magical.
There's also a very beautiful platinum grade coffin that is closed. It looks like it's made from similar wood to the coffins you found in the sewers in Racker's Alley, but this looks like the coffin of a noble or a head of state.
I don't suppose those gems are soul gems by any chance.
I'll use identify on the skull.
Okay, so you've wandered in here.
Yeah.
I'll assist you in the spellcraft. Pixel's keeping an eye on the enclosed mist there.
Okay, that's only a minute per level as well. She comes rushing back in, and the mist is now just angrily swarming around the table.
Nice.
It's bleeding everywhere. It seems really angry.
How unfortunate for it. You know, it took some of my life force out of me.
Yeah, I think it touched Makronam too.
Yeah.
All right, give me a spellcraft check on.
I can assist with that.
44.
The statue does indeed have magic on it. There is a permanent and active spell of the Conjuration School that is running on the left eye socket gem. The right eye socket gem does not have a spell on it.
Can I look at it a little bit closer to see if it's trapped at all before people touch it?
Sure. Can you see magic traps?
I cannot. Well, I can't disarm magic traps, but I do not have a detect magic up or anything like that.
Okay. So you're looking for more mundane traps. Go ahead.
33.
You don't see any spike pits or poison darts or anything bad about the statue itself.
Okay.
There is this strong aura coming from the gem. You are guessing that it is a spell and not a item because your identify does not identify. Actually, it would. Set 44.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The formula for an item. Okay, you beat it. There is a functioning trap the soul working on the gem on the left socket.
Oh, well, there's a functioning trapped soul on this left gem socket here. Seems we may have a soul sacrifice for you after all, old friend.
The gem is quite valuable. Both of them are.
Oh, quite valuable gems here we have, Thurgus.
Must be a power.
Right, well, can I smash it yet?
The magic is strong enough on the gem that it seems to be like the focal point, but it does flow into the skull a little bit. Like, it's very strong aura.
Maybe we should bring the whole thing downstairs.
Yes, Mr. Shadow of the past. Any idea if this will count as a sacrifice? There's a prime soul trapped in here.
I wonder who it is.
I feel like we shouldn't name it and get attached.
You mean soul here?
Yes, there is a soul here.
Oh, splendid. Well,
it sounds like a winning plan to me.
Must be sacrificed.
a soul must be sacrificed. Good enough for me.
The
We've got
house,
the
the house it hungers.
I can't believe they were keeping a snack right here all along.
I know. It amazes me
The
too.
reserve rations upstairs.
We need to take this coffin with us too and find a nice river.
Well, I could just poke a hole in the top and the bottom and just create a whole bunch of running water and just deal with it like right now.
That sounds marvelous.
I would be willing to assist.
All All right, you
Oh, that's
Start-
not too much damage. It's a very nice piece of wood.
Unless you stop Thurgus, he's gonna like try and very crudely poke a hole in it.
I'm going to detect magic on it and see if there's any major magical auras on that coffin.
All right, give me an initiative roll between Pharisai's detect magic coming into view and Thurgus putting enough damage on the coffin to set off the magical trap.
14.
Yep, Thurgus, you win, buddy.
Hooray! What do I win?
Oh,
It's fire!
Fire, my friend, and what do you have to say?
Oh, it smells like burning.
No, there is a frigid blast of cold.
Oh, that doesn't seem better. That seems worse.
That seems.
Would you like to trade it for what I have in my pocket?
I would like what was behind coffin number 2, please.
All right. Let's see what we've got here. I am probably also pretty close to it. Maybe we all are. It could be a bad day.
Okay. The cone of the really localized cone of cold trap goes off. The DC of the trap is.
Do you need a reflex save?
Yeah, there's gonna be a reflex save. 5th level spell would require DC 17.
Hooray!
Me as well, I assume.
And Pixel looks like.
Nice. I fail it. Pixel fails it.
Oh, that's 36 cold damage.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Does that kill Pixel?
Let's see if it does. It might.
What?
Pixel. Yes.
She does have improved evasion, so she automatically takes half.
No, it does not kill Pixel.
That is a massively positive binary.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Does it kill
start
Pharisee with
using
her 2
fervor on
negative
Pixel.
levels and the 14 damage that you have?
I can't hear you though because I am down and bleeding.
Okay. First thing I do is I fervor Pharisee and then I fervor Pixel. So
What does that do?
three. It's just 3d6 of healing.
Okay.
So 3d6 to Pharisee and 3d6 to Pixel. So 12 and 14.
Okay, Pixel was like, she kind of floated to the ground. She was all, her wings were all frozen. And Pharisee just, you turned around to talk to her, and she kind of fell backwards and was covered in like in permafrost.
Powerful vampire spellcasters have traps.
What?
Oh yeah.
I
forgot you were standing there.
There is a rhyme that is along the place where you were putting the hole into the coffin, as well as a bunch of eldritch blue runes that kind of rippled into view. I think I found the weakness of this party.
I mean, I'm always gonna stab things. Like, I'm not gonna metagame a freaking casket.
What are the two?
It's already dead.
Right?
Zafira saw all of this happening from afar, and he was like, "Aren't we just gonna throw water on it?"
Oh yeah, I gotta poke a hole in it. It's gotta be running water.
Christina, stay in here, please.
We must go down.
Christina, I command you to stay in here.
Start disconnecting that statue so we can drag it down. I think that's maybe I'm going to stand over here and poke myself with a wand.
Okay, so Pharisee goes off to Pixel follows her.
Yeah.
Ferris is still wisely off to the side with Makaram collecting books.
I'm gonna test its reset.
Yeah, the runes have kind of flashed over the thing, and they've gone down, and there's just bits of slush now coming off the sides of the sarcophagus. You did poke a hole in it, and you can see there looks like a body inside, and the body's got like it's wearing things.
I need to poke another hole in the bottom because I need it to run through the top. So I'm gonna test the traps reset.
Okay, so no, you're able to crunch your sword through both ends of the sarcophagus. Give me a perception check, Thurgus.
36.
You think you may see the creature's feet. It's like somebody's lying in a satin-lined coffin. The satin's like this bright red with this deep
I look
red.
back at the party and I pat the sarcophagus and I say, "Oh, this baby can hold so much water." And I pat it and then I just start conjuring water.
You also see objects buried with him.
Hopefully they're magical and they don't get destroyed by water.
Okay.
Unless the party stops me,
I'm healing myself.
Thurgus wants to kill the vampire.
Yep.
I'm
That's
nearly
his
dead.
only
I'm
concern.
over here.
Professor, are you doing anything?
I'm trying to yell at Henrietta to get back in here. It's Christina, sorry.
Yeah, she kind of numbly comes over, avoiding some of the rubble.
Hope it wasn't a bunch of cool scrolls, guys.
Yeah, I think we're all a little caught up in our own things right now. Nobody really noticed Thurgus doing whatever he does. You know, he seems to have it under control.
My job is to eliminate threats. There's a vampire in this room that I want to kill, so I'm gonna take care of it.
I thought you had done it already. What are you
Problem solver. Well, it's reconstituting in this here sarcophagus. It's got like feet in there or something.
By all means.
All right, so you've punched a hole through the lid, and you've punched a hole through the bottom, and you can see the creature's. It's dressed up, like he's got shoes and pants on, and there's robes, and you might see the edge of a book.
Good luck, book. Oh wait, I see at the edge of a book.
With your 36 on your perception check, you could see that he might have his hands clasped around a really big book on his kind of like that's fallen down around his groin, and you can see the edge of it. Yeah.
I look at the professor. Oh, son of a bitch! And then I stick my sword at the top again. I try to wedge it open so that I take
the whole thing. It falls apart like you're stabbing into a loaf of bread. it just comes apart. You rip the thing open, and remember all those rooms that you guys had looted or tried to loot, but there was nothing there. Yeah, there's stuff crammed into this coffin. Goodies galore. There is the vampire. You expected him to be kind of like mist or something else. No, he's completely corporeal and just looks like he's sleeping.
Oh, that's a fucking problem.
Where is his token? Give me a second. Find it.
If he's sleeping, can I try and coo him?
Like, coo, go to sleep, little vampire.
No, like Coupe de Gracie.
He looks a little bit different, but he's wearing the same clothes. Like it's like he lost all of his hair. Like he's no longer wearing a wig. His ears are really long. He looks much more like Nosferatu-ish.
You said I destroyed the sarcophagus, so there's like wood, right?
Well, you've basically ripped asunder the lid of the sarcophagus to see him lying amongst a bunch of goodies, and yes, what looks like a very thick iron braced tome along the top of it. He's kind of almost like hugging, or his clawed hands are resting upon it.
Is there a fragment of wood that I feel like I could get enough leverage to try and like shove it in his chest? Or do I feel like I could break a piece off?
With a DC 10 craft check, you could definitely make a stake.
Oh, well, I have a traveler's any tool, so I'm gonna add.
Toss it over to me. I'm an exceptional woodworker.
Can I use craft weapons?
Yeah, Yeah.
Sweet. I have a +10 for craft weapons because of the
You don't need to
belt
roll
of the
then.
goat.
You could take
Yeah.
10. You could make a pointy stick. You could be the guy in the campfire in the middle of the wilderness after you lose all your weapons going,
Oh, it's a good thing I found this goat belt. I know exactly what we need. And I make a stick.
Zephyros walks up to him and goes, "Wow, you did all that by yourself?
It's a pretty good stick.
It's a pretty decent stick."
It's very nice wood.
That's a 29
yeah.
for my craft stick.
It
Craft
is
steak.
it is thick enough that it looks like it will survive a combat or two.
I'm going to try and shove it in his chest if he's still sleeping.
Yeah, you drive the wooden stake into the creature. It's almost like you let out like a breath that he was holding. The breath, however, had a lot of dust in it, so it's like weird to see dust kind of come out of his like its hateful eyes, almost like he's still stuck in his coffin, kind of dart towards you. There's like almost like a clicking noise as they move towards you. And then he just relaxes and expires with the stake in his chest.
Alright, that was a little less messy than my original plan.
Accomplished the same end. Good on you.
Professor, there's a lot of stuff you gotta like look at and tell us what it does. And I start like tossing stuff out of the sarcophagus.
Pharisee, give me a knowledge religion.
Yeah. Let me make sure it's adjusted for the negative levels. Yeah, there we go. 33.
I'm gonna send you a note.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We may need to do a bit more, but let's hold off for a second. Maybe we could keep the gem and sacrifice him if that would count. Probably not.
I've got some holy water, and I pull it out of my bag.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, I made this the other day. Remember, we got like a silver powder, and you were like, "Oh, bless the water," and it's got holy water.
Oh. Well, we've got him right where we want him, kind of immobilized by that stake. But don't pull that stake out, or he'll come right back. But you know what they say: sever his head and anoint him with holy water, and that's the end of him.
They do say that quite often around here, I see.
Got it. Do you want me to do that like right now?
Well, Professor, do you want to try sacrificing the vampire?
I did turn to the spirit. I don't suppose the vampire will work for the sacrifice. Is his soul corrupted? Doesn't count, right?
The shadow, don't think it's like a font of really deep knowledge. It just
I just work here.
It just repeats that we need a sacrifice. The house sits hungry. The sacrifices are to be brought down.
I'll
Sounds
point at
gets to me.
the vampire specifically. Sacrifice? Soul?
It neither confirms nor.
I feel like we should play it safe and kill it.
Yeah,
Nice.
safest option is cut off its head and anoint it with holy water.
I think we
Sounds great. Oh,
Yeah, sounds fine. We've
All right.
got a soul. It's a good soul.
Durgus, you take your adamantine sword, and with a single swipe, you end up decapitating.
I kind of like lay it over his neck, kind of like you would slice cheese, and then I kind of put like my gauntleted hand, and I just sort of like push down.
Okay. The head rolls off of the body. You also ruin more of the coffin doing so.
Oh,
Oh,
such
all
nice
right.
woodwork.
So do I anoint the head or anoint the stump?
Just anoint them all.
Well, it's not a lot of water.
but it's very holy.
What if I hold the head next to the stump, pour it over both, and hope for the best?
Sounds
Hey,
good to me.
I'm not a cleric. You're the anointer, all right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like a priest and stuff. So
You
I
want to
pick up the
curse
head,
something?
I shove it
You
next
want
to
to
the
sing
stump,
something? Give me a call.
Okay.
and I pour holy water on like the slice in between, and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And then I like tap it on the top and the bottom. In the name of the bear and the blood and water and whoever else wants to give me a hand here, fuck this vampire guy. And I pour the water on it.
All right, you begin to pour the holy water on it. The first few splashes kind of cause the flesh to bubble and steam, and then eventually the head catches fire.
I'm gonna take this
Yeah.
as a good sign.
Well,
I think
not
that's
for
probably
vampire, it's a good sign for us.
It kind of burns away, and it's melting over the place. Are you letting it burn in the casket, or are you putting the head not in the casket?
I like
The
set it
casket's nice. That's...
side and drop it away from the casket.
Okay, you watch the thing trying to scream as its skin bubbles and burns, and then eventually you're left with a blackened, vampire skull. The body simply turns into blood, and you've got this soupy mess now.
I made a mess anyways, I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
As the Jerks Emeritus destroy Baron Ramoska Arkminos in his vampire form, he will no longer be a scourge upon this pearl and many others.
Delightful.
Oh, I do feel a bit strange about it, though. He is the first person to invite us for dinner in a while.
I suppose that's true.
I wasn't impressed with the menu, Henry.
Yes, it was a bit gamey.
Oh,
Anyway, about
downstairs.
this soul over here, is there any way to tell whose it is, or should we just best left to the not knowing, I suppose, right?
Just don't name it.
Yes, well...
So one thing you do know about this, well, you already identified what the spell was. The more powerful the gem, so the more powerful the soul, the more valuable the gem needs to be. And the formula
is there any way to communicate with the soul inside of it?
I mean, you can destroy it and free it.
It's not one of those things where you touch it and automatically commune or anything.
So you haven't tried touching it. You might be able to talk to it. You guys know that both a soul or the body and soul of a creature could be trapped inside of it. It's not just a soul.
Yeah.
You said it's a trap the soul is what spell it is?
Yep.
Trap the soul. Can I look at it?
Yeah. You're the one that identified it. You can definitely look at this.
Well, if the body's trapped in there too, of course, it's probably trapped in there with all of its stuff.
Yes, the body's in there.
They didn't ask us to sacrifice stuff, just the soul. So I think it's our stuff and their soul.
We'll get the soul out, see if any stuff's left over, I suppose.
I would hesitate to start to release a powerful creature into this place in our current state.
The house seems a bit insistent about how hungry it is.
Sure.
But I also insist we don't have the power to fight anything at this point.
Let's feed it, but let's not release let's not release it too soon. You know.
Yes, we'll feed it. Not too soon, though. We got to get ready for dinner, so to speak. Wash up, make ourselves presentable for the big ceremony.
How long does your friend stick around?
He's not very communicative with that, but I would say, maybe about 8 days or so, he'll be wanting to hang out with us.
All right. Well, maybe we can take some time to examine the soul then. I don't think it's friendly, though. If it was controlling these golems, it's probably one of those Arkminos folks.
Yes, I think they won't be missed if they feed the house this turn. Are we sure we don't want to do it now? We're all the way down here.
I don't know that we can get back up anyway, can we?
Do we need to fight anything?
I don't know. When we feed the house, oh, never mind. Your one-track mind there. I won't bother bothering you again.
You've been down there, Professor. What's down there?
Oh, there's small ghosts. They seem a bit incorporeal, all part of the ceremony. Some sort of arcane binding diagram. Seemed like maybe there was some sort of monstrous creature in the corner, but if we've come to feed the house, it might be okay with us.
You found it. We must go to the circle in the basement, says Christina.
You seem to know a lot you're not telling us.
Henrietta is... Help! Is this thing? What is this thing? Back, you foul beast! Back!
Is she coming to us?
Yep.
Oh, good.
I immediately double move in her direction as soon as she yells
Okay.
out.
Yeah, you can see this creature has been flying around this big table looking for its coffin, and it's just bleeding everywhere. And you see Henrietta holding up 2 different holy symbols, trying to like force the creature back. Minute per level for the size increase. I think Thurgus, you're probably small at this point, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
She's going to inch her way around when she sees you and comes to join the group. The way is shut. I tried speaking magic words at it and making symbols. I tried bleeding on it, Father.
Oh, well, I suppose we've got to offer the house a sacrifice if we want to get out of here.
And your father found a good one that's not you.
Yes, hooray for Henry and his resourcefulness. I'm sure you're all quite pleased with me.
She blanches at that statement. Are you guys bringing the coffin full of goods? You at least have the base of the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, this is good, high-quality wood.
Well, there's also a
I
bunch
feel
of
like I would
stuff
make
in
a
it
nice
that we need to
box out of it.
identify.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here's go back and
100%. Yeah.
you go back and you'll put the books in the coffin with the stuff, and then you'll drag everything, or pick up everything, or drag. I'm not
Okay.
sure if you can carry it.
Yeah, you basically need to drag the thing behind you, or you can carry it in 2 hands.
I'll carry it in 2 hands. It's fine. Zephyros is not planning to fight anything. He doesn't have any fight left in him.
Spirit, perhaps you could lead us to an easier access to the below. Last I saw, there was just that portcullis.
This way.
Let's see where he goes. I guess we'll take the thing. I think we got it loose and we're working on it.
Yeah. Describe how you are removing the skull from the statue.
Can we just carry the statue?
The statue is like a 8-foot tall man in robes holding out a skull that's about the size of like an ogre skull. It is not your size.
I think maybe I'm going to suggest maybe take off the arm with our bear's key.
With the keyblade?
The adamantine sword? Sure.
Making sure that we don't slice, through the aura if the aura
Oh,
flows.
I get smash stuff. Tell me where.
Well, just a second. Let's check here. Let's check.
I mean, try and make a careful cut. If we wait until tomorrow, I could just stone shape it off. But
Does it count as a humanoid creature?
What?
The statue?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We'll examine the aura and make sure that cutting the arm doesn't seem to be connected. The arm's not really connected to the magic. Can we tell? I know some of the power from the gem extended into the skull. Do I get a sense that it
Yeah,
extended
because of it's an 8th circle spell, it's a blazing pinpoint of magic that leeches into everything around it.
Okay, but it's the gem itself that's really the magical thing. Yeah.
Does it look like it'd pop out?
You might be able to pry it out.
I will.
I don't want to break it, though.
At this point in
I can
time,
still
while you
shape
guys
it
are
out tomorrow.
fiddling with the statue with the 8th level spell in it, can I get where all of you are standing? I know I dragged a bunch of tokens back, but
That's fair.
The first will probably be standing back because he would have been picking up the.
Mhm.
So he's probably going to be at the back here somewhere still.
Okay. Christina and Henrietta have moved out into the hallway.
We'll do that.
It's probably best if we don't touch it. Maybe we should. I don't know.
I'll happily stone shape it out tomorrow if you wish.
I get the sense he's a bit insistent it happens soon. Something about the door being blocked. I suppose we could cut it, but
Maybe slice the whole arm off and take the whole mechanism down.
seems like as good of an idea as any. Zephyros, any objections?
I don't think so. Will it fit in this coffin? Then I can carry all of it.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's about the size of a basketball.
Thurgis, you don't mind if I stand back while you work, do you?
Oh no, it's for. I mean, are we worried something's gonna happen? Should I I don't know, heal myself up or something, or should I just hit it?
Maybe you should heal yourself a bit, but it's just a precaution, of course. I'll say as
I'll
I
make a little soft landing pad for it, just in case he drops it.
Sure, there's a bunch of like broken padding from the inside of the coffin that you can rip out of the lid, and you basically take the pieces of the lid of the coffin and stick it underneath where the thing will fall.
Yeah, don't let it drop, but if it does, hopefully it won't break the gem.
I'll burn my last 2 first level spells as Cure Lights and heal for 14. And then swing. Do you need me to roll for it?
No, you are able to, in a couple of swings, hack the arm off. Where, at the wrist, the elbow?
I'm going for the elbow.
Okay, so you break the statue. The whole thing does fall down into Pharisai's little basket. The basket does its job. Like otherwise, maybe one of the gems might have struck the floor. The thing rolls a little bit and just a bunch of chips of stone.
All right, well...
The statue doesn't move. There are no other visual effects, and I'll just draw a gray area. The statue of the robed figure, the cowled robed figure, doesn't complain having his outstretched arm chopped off.
Yeah, all right. Well, are we done here?
Yes, seems that way. Shall we move along?
I'll put the basket in the casket and then head out.
Okay, so you put the thing in the stone coffin, which Zephyrus is half carrying, half dragging along.
Yep.
And now the group of you begins to head out, following the shadow creature.
Yes.
Are you letting your daughters follow you?
No, they need to get the hell out of here. Go, wait up here, girls, where it's safe. Watch yourselves, though. I don't know quite how safe it is.
We'll wait at the table in here.
Splendid.
Okay, it takes all of Henrietta's effort to do so. She does come running back for a moment and says, "You're all injured, aren't you?"
A little bit.
Some of us, yes.
Yes.
Okay. She does channel positive energy for 9 healing.
That is enough for me and Pixel.
She evoked 3 ancient gods or deities that aren't supposed to be granting powers. She called upon Thoth, Isis, and something about a wise eagle.
How interesting, child.
She gives you a look like you've seen too much, and she kind of like putting distance between you and her will keep her secret.
Did a great witch give that to you?
No, they are the old gods, she says.
Yes. Indeed they are.
Only those who learn their words can really reach out.
I'm glad you've learned them then. Thank you.
She nods and disappears from the room. She seems relieved, like she maybe expected like a scolding or maybe some sort of lecture. The shadow of the past continues to just sort of circle ahead, and it plunges down the stairs. This way.
Well, off we go. This should be interesting, to say the least.
Passing over the dead bodies of your relatives, turned into horrible ghouls.
No time for reunion.
Do they look like they have any like equipment, or are they just dressed in like fineries that they were buried in?
The fineries that they were buried in might have been fine long ago. They're just very dirty and ratty, moth-eaten and stained.
It doesn't look like we're leaving behind like a set of full plate or
No,
anything like that. Okay.
no, it does not. It does not look like they were even buried with much wealth either. Like these people, Henry, are people on your mother's side of your family.
Sorry, Great Uncle Gustav. You've never looked better, though, I swear.
Wrecked.
Maybe they were sacrifices. At least in some way, shape, or form. If they were turned into ghouls and they were speaking as if they had memories, then fair to say their souls may have been consigned to oblivion when you destroyed them.
That is a fair point.
Ago. The group of you plunges into the depths once more. And at the bottom of the stairs, there's this nice bed of swords. And like you could see up into the pit that you almost went into. The pit that those creatures tried to lure Thurgus into. The horrible chanting is very loud down here.
Oh yeah, I gotta play it again.
There is a lever along the wall. Thurgus pulls the lever and all the swords sort of retract.
Does it reset at all?
You're pretty sure if you put the lever back up, it might reset.
Right. I just don't want it to go up while people are walking over it, so I'm just going to hold it down while people walk over.
Okay.
And then I'll go last.
The shadow just simply traverses to an area where there is the sound of chanting.
Okay. I'll leave it in the down position and walk over it, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to reset or something.
What's down this little hall?
Pixel sees sort of some like catacombs.
Okay.
There is more passageway down here. She can see a few bits of chain and a little bit of bone.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on this space and ear open. But yeah.
Do any of you have see invisibility still running?
I should.
I have comprehend languages.
10 minutes.
Creature whispers at a distance, you hear it.
It's going to be close.
Okay. Pharisee, so you still have see invisibility up. You can see there are similar shadows to the one that seems to be subservient to the professor that are slowly moving around this big dais at the center of a pool.
There are 6 more shadows there, Professor.
Yes, they seem to be less enthusiastic than this one. Can't really guarantee much of anything down here, though, but...
Stay back myself. Do you know, of course, if this creature's soul, the one in the gem, is consigned to oblivion, its body may rise as undead. And if it was powerful in life, it may be powerful in death.
Well, that certainly may be true. I suppose we'll have to deal with that if that's the case.
Yes, I suppose so.
Kenny and Mark just throwing shade.
Approved.
All right. At the end of this little bit of a ramp that leads down into the water, you do see that there are bars of a porculus.
Mr. Shadow, I believe I asked for the path that didn't have the portcullis so that we could walk through.
Yeah.
Oh. Can I see where he's pointing?
Yeah, he's just pointing through the bars.
How do you propose we get through? Any way to lower these bars?
You are the heir. You are a wizard, are you not?
Last I checked, let's see, wizardly things. All right, Henry the Wizard. Let's see, what has he got for us today? Something amazing, no doubt.
You have his ring, do you not?
His ring? Let me see here.
The shadow of the past slowly just kind of flows through the bars. And if you don't command him to otherwise, he joins the others who now have seemed to have settled at 7 of the 8 points of the hexagon, leaving 1 open.
Well, I suppose we should get this over with. I'll use an arcane point to spell recall an unseen servant and cast unseen servant.
There's something about the water now that you're this close to it. It's really you can't see through it very well, and it's got this really weird sheen to it. It's like it's really sparkly, like minerally. There is a far corner that looks like it's full of like an old mound of detritus. The far corner of the room, it's like the house may deposit refuse here, or the mound might be ancient bodies piled upon each other.
I'll summon an unseen servant on the other side of the bars and try and get him to turn the wheel. I'm not sure if he'll be strong enough, though, if it requires more than 20 pounds of force to move it.
No, it's a wheel, and it seems to be in good repair, like the rest of the house above. Your unseen servant just has enough strength to move the wheel, albeit slowly, so that the portcullis does rise.
Do we have a token for him somewhere on this map?
Your unseen servant?
Yeah, there's usually one by the carriage, but the carriage is gone into the probably... There we go. Awesome.
Okay, your unseen servant seems to be just powerful enough. Maybe the wheel was designed that way.
Well, yes, of course, wizard. Look at that. Did it again.
Okay. Henry, there are carvings of people walking into the water as if like they are like self-baptizing themselves. Like they're going down steps and there are squiggly lines along the carvings. Like there is a ramp that you're supposed to be walking down into. If you believe,
I'm supposed to, or the sacrifice is supposed to.
It does look like there are like 4 or 5 people on either side that are walking down into the water.
It looks like the sacrifice might be being led. Can I pause for a moment and study these runes to try and glean what part I'm supposed to play in this ceremony and how to properly?
It's more like less runes and more like little glyphs along the side that have been carved. There is a band like where the glyphs are carved into, and it looks like it does traverse around the room. Like you might have to go and read or interpret. Right now, the interpretation you're getting from here is that there is a baptism. There's something about the water that might be important. And it does look like people walk into the water willingly.
Yeah, but the sacrifices might be those people.
You can see the ramp disappear. It might only go about up to your waist. Maybe your armpits.
I'll call the unseen servant. Perhaps you can free that head a little bit so he can drag it along with me. I suppose I must do this, what with being the head of the household. You will give me a proper burial, though, if things go awry, won't you?
Oh yeah, we'll find a good hole for you.
Okay.
The unseen servant is gonna like drag the pillow makeshift thing with the arm and the skull.
Oh, the stone coffin, or just the lid where the
just the lid thing.
Okay, so you have like the top part of like the part that you would actually remove just for a showing, like the door of the top of the coffin, the shorter one, upside down with the stone skull in it, the 2 gems, one with a soul inside, one with nothing, and it's pretty heavy. You could lift and stagger around with it.
The unseen servant's pretty weak, though. Can you just drag it behind him?
Yeah, the lid of the coffin's like 5 pounds, and then the statue head is probably like 50.
So 20, I could drag that.
What's the strength of the unseen servant?
He can exert 20 pounds of force. He doesn't have a strength score, I don't think.
Okay. So the unseen servant can't drag it. It's too heavy.
Oh, I suppose I'll help. Well, come on now. I'll help him drag it.
All right. So yeah, you've got 20 pounds that the thing is lifting, and then Henry, you're dragging the other group, the other portion of it.
Oh, well, here we go. I will step into the water.
Okay, the water is cool. It has sort of an oily, mineral-y feel to it.
Well, that's strange.
And the water seems to be made out of maybe like a different substance that is like a substrate in the water. You kind of run your hand through it, and it's like the water passes over it, and then something else that's kind of sparkly comes off of it. Do you have any ranks in craft alchemy?
Yeah, I have some kind of crazy alchemy. What did I just pick up? Those bracers that the perfume lady had give me alchemy something. +5 competence checks to craft alchemy and craft perfume checks as a secondary.
Okay. Do you have any ranks in it though?
No, I don't have any ranks.
I guess you can make an untrained check. Oh, you're a fucking genius. Yeah, give me your roll.
So +5. What is alchemy? Int.
Yep.
So I would do int +5 d20.
Mhm.
Okay. 1d20 plus 14. 33.
There's only a thin layer of water that is on top of the substance. This pool is a pool of mercury,
Oh.
also known as quicksilver.
Do I know that this is really bad for me to come into contact with as a person?
You know that over time, do you have heal?
I think I might actually. I have 1 rank in it.
Okay, give me a heal check.
All right.
What d20 plus 2?
Oh, I already did it. It was a 10.
Oh, a 10? It should be fine. It's like liquid.
Off we go. I better just be quick about this then.
All right, you basically are up to your waist up now, kind of to your armpits in a watery quicksilver.
I think maybe this was a bad idea. I will walk forward and I will put the offering soul here at the open spot.
Okay, the commanded and I guess somewhat friendly and visible ghost points down at the center of the diagram.
Oh, all the way over there, huh? Oh, okay. Right, well. Let's see. Rather than get too deep in there. I'll try and. I suppose I get to the edge and there's no way I can push it in there without stepping into the diagram.
No, you'd have to step in the diagram.
I will take a moment and do a summon horror. I think probably the summon horror 3 will give me something strong enough to carry it into the center, and then I will do my.
Place the sacrifice upon the seal.
I think a Draugr will be strong enough to carry it.
Okay, it's at this point in time when you kind of walked out of the mercury water solution. Yeah, I guess your alchemy would tell you probably don't want to get this stuff into open wounds, but just touching it is not gonna be bad. You may not quite realize that this concentration of it and this amount of touching might be bad, but you don't have any wounds, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so yeah, you didn't poison yourself yet. So yeah, you're dripping with this strange substance, and it's at this point in time that the chanting has stopped. Like the second you hit the dais, it is quiet in this chamber. Just the slight sloshing of the water, the ripples that you created. There is an expectant hush and a little bit of a rasp coming from the shadows of the past that are in this circle. As you begin to summon an evil creature next to this diagram.
That's on brand.
Yes, I will summon a Draugr.
Okay.
And then I will use my memory lapse wand to forget it after I summon it and
Give me a will save as Sinclair is trying to stop you from forgetting it. Are you sure you want to forget what happens here?
pretty sure. I'd rather not be here at all, to be honest, Sinclair. 17.
10 plus. Nope. You find yourself putting your multiple tokens of the same name. Weird. Draugr 1. There we go. You find yourself putting your wand away.
So I don't forget it. I want to remember this one, huh?
Yeah, Sinclair is telling you to be a man for once and remember the important things.
You sure are bossy in there, aren't you, Sinclair? Let me just make note of this here. Remembered evil spells.
Your brother was brought down here, says Sinclair to you.
Oh.
Don't you want to know what happened to him?
After all these years, it would be good to finally know.
Then watch.
Draugr, carry this forward and place it in the center for me.
There's Sinclair. You can feel him hovering kind of over your shoulder, which is really him looking kind of at the back of your mind through your shared eyes. Yeah, the horrible Draugr beast picks up the statuary,
carry it into the center,
places it into the center, and just stands there.
Come back out here and cover me in case anything goes awry. I'll step back. Mr. Shadow, perhaps you could fill me in on my cues. It's my first time.
You hear the shadows of the past begin to chant. And while they're kind of all chanting over each other, there is a common thread, and it might be like they're chanting out of order or in some different time that is slowly counting down like a clock to align to the same words. It's really confusing, but you manage to pick out pieces of it as they begin to chant that, like their circle, which is incomplete, so too shall the hunger of the three never be satiated. Remember Vecna's folly. Remember Karsus's fall. For these are the lessons of those who tried to reach for the top shelf, for the forbidden fruit. For this power is weakness. Remember the Covenant 3. And this place, their pact, was made. And this is the representation of their circle. To this house goeth the fourth sacrifice of each turning. So that the generations of those who can no longer bear fruit can go on. And they begin to chant more like magic. There is a horrible scream that emanates from the skull itself. And the gem basically kind of goes black and then melts into the back of the stone skull. Professor, you are... You recognize the voice of the person screaming?
I was wondering if I'd have to learn who we just sacrificed.
You remember that there's actually a flood of memories. Your mother was always into like pottery and fashioning things and making busts and statues.
Uh-huh.
You even recall now, in a horrible memory that you have pushed aside, those were your mother's golems. And it was under her control that they patrolled and kept this house safe.
Oh,
To the house gets sacrificed another of your kin. The house shudders. Based off of what the one spirit that you see does, bows to the center of the arcane binding diagram, and then the spirits themselves just simply disappear into the water, leaving the one that you have commanded. So we accept Tiana and her golem craft into the house.
Oh, well, you're welcome. What happens now?
The house is fed. Next, turning must be fed with a sacrifice.
Will it,
And you notice that this one points forward and points at three distinct symbols. We're going to call them like three in the center. And it kind of lights up a little bit like you've just turned the hand on a clock that has only four numbers on it. And there is a faint symbol inside the first of the next turning. At this point in time, Professor, there is a memory that you have not forgotten. You've seen this symbol before. And you know what one of the three entities are who made a pact amongst each other is, because you've seen this symbol written in fire upon a wall in Bostera.
It's, what was his name? Gis? Yeah, what was his name? Let me flip back here. Is this the dragon who I have Garrix? Or no, Ashardalon.
One of the three in the Trifold Pact is a Ashardalon, and his symbol is blazing brightly in this strange constellation.
Now that the
you
house...
also know that bringing the dragon here that you know that you would need to bring to Ashardalon, you could also bring to your own damn house.
That's convenient for me, you know. If you're gonna be enslaved to a dragon, you know, at least you could have the comfort of your own home to fulfill your.
The other two symbols are barely visible, and it's almost like there's some magic trying to obscure them. However, somebody has spent a boon, and you actually see what those symbols are.
Oh, hell yeah.
The next one will be clear with the boon. The second entity that is not a deity, but is powerful enough to have survived the ages. You've seen her symbol before as well.
This is gonna be Baba Yaga, isn't it?
The third sigil in the pact of the triad is completely obscured, and there's nothing that you can see about it.
Oh, now that I have offered the sacrifice to the house, my own mother, I may say, will the house obey my commands?
Yeah. You are the master of Maison Chaume.
Well, splendid, just as I'd always hoped.
You can call forth the power now.
Oh, I suppose, let's be on with it. I will extend my hand forward.
Swear a pact
Oh,
to the trifold rune and summon forth your inheritance. You are now the eldest of your family, and by rules of ancient primogeniture, you are the heir. You are the master.
yes, well, the last remaining Chalmers male heir, Professor Henry Sinclair Chalmers III, do swear to wield the house and live out my destiny.
Place your blood upon the third rune.
Little late now, I suppose.
What are the rest of you doing? Fucking
Nobody
professor.
knows.
Just standing there all dumbfounded watching this from afar.
I really hope that like he didn't name the soul gem at the end. I would be devastated if I found out who was inside that little rock. I mean, could you imagine?
Oh,
What if it was
hope-
like the family dog or something? Like something you were really close to, someone you loved, and you were just like, oh, here, eat this soul. Rah, rah, rah. That would be awful.
Did it work, Henry?
Yes, it's working. I'll say almost compulsively as I get out. I think the razor.
Okay, the crawling claw is out of its pouch. Like maybe it sensed what was going on, but it is bearing witness to this as well. What are you doing?
I will draw the Malavella shaving razor that the Malavella guy's wife used to kill herself in the bathtub, and I will cut my hand and bleed onto the sigil.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll. If you roll a 1, you accidentally cut off a finger.
Oh, jeez.
You know, why
That's
not?
a badass razor.
You can willingly hold on before rolling. You can willingly cut off a finger for something neat to happen.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? Why not? We're in for penny, in for pound, boys. Here we go. Take a finger.
Okay, which finger?
I'd like to use the willow puzzle here. Which one has the least amount of magic in here, guys?
The pinky finger does.
We'll go with the pinky then.
All right, so this thing is, you're like, oh yeah, it's keen, or whatever, and you kind of dumbly look at your finger, which rolls suspiciously into the obscured sigil. The finger simply kind of bubbles a little bit and then disappears into the stone. The entity behind the third sigil accepts your sacrifice as his servant.
Lord help me! What have I just done?
And there are two things that that rise up from the edges of the circle itself. First is a ring that you recognize as your grandfather's ring.
Okay.
It's iron. It's heavy looking. It's got a very small hole, like it might go over a pinky finger.
If only I had a hand.
The second thing that rises up from the edge of the circle is a blackened and old-looking skull that has been partially painted with runes, partially carved with runes. It is missing its jaw, and you recognize this as something that maybe your grandfather sketched. Its two front teeth are missing, in addition to its jaw. You're getting a terribly bad feeling from this pact sigil.
I've gotten a lot of good feelings down
if
here.
If great entities maybe didn't even just pray over the sigil, or maybe they did meet to draw the sigil in the stone, you are not a great entity. And you are definitely bound by it.
Well, I don't suppose I can forget that one, can I, Sinclair?
Definitely not. Sinclair is the closest to, like, almost a giddy happiness that is breaking through his normal, very strong and forceful demeanor. Like almost a megalomania kind of pouring through the velvety iron fist that he normally is.
Well, you're certainly happy about this turn of events. I wish I could share that sentiment.
We are now master. I am the master, is what he says.
Well, you're the assistant to the master. Let's be clear who's in charge here.
The Draugr just growls before, I think at this point in time, just disappears.
Yeah. I don't know what the iron ring in the skull does. I suppose I'll reach down and pick him up, though.
The iron ring, you do know what it does. The iron ring was your grandfather's arcane bond.
Oh. Do I know? Like, it would be useful to him. Do I know if it has any other powers beyond that? I'll probably have to spend some time.
It might allow you to get out of here.
Yeah, I will put it on my finger and see if I get any insights into how to use the house.
Which one?
The good pinky?
Did it really look like it was pinky size?
Yep.
I guess I will put it on my only remaining pinky.
All right, which means you picked it up with the hand that has the missing pinky on it, which is really starting to hurt at this point in time.
Yep.
So you pick it up, and as you are grasping it, you can see a finger starting to peer as you put the pinky closer towards it.
Nice.
I will. So it looks like I could just put it on the stump.
Yep.
And the pinky would grow back?
Yeah, as you're putting it on, there's a pinky that reappears, and it is a pinky finger, but it is not your pinky finger.
Ooh, it's grandfather's pinky finger, it sounds like. Oh, well, that's convenient.
Well, it's a pinky finger that of somebody who does not have flesh.
Sort of. Better than nothing, I suppose. Get a look at this, Icky Maester.
Icky Macer's gonna He goes up to it, gives you a thumbs up. Yeah, it is a completely animate bone pinky finger.
Oh,
And-
I?
And then the ring fuses to your hand. It actually burns.
Oh, boy.
There's a moment where you guys hear the professor going, "Ah!" as like this thing is white hot and searing to his flesh.
Is everything still all right in there?
I've lost control of the situation.
Do you need us to come in and help you, or should we run for our lives?
I think it's too late for either of those.
Well, I guess we'll stay here then.
I'll flap a little bit closer and watch more closely.
Okay.
Are the invisible things doing anything?
No, they've sunk back into the water.
Oh, that's right.
Except for the one that is
Yeah.
under the professor's command.
Yeah.
They are in the Quicksilver.
Now that I'm wearing the ring, do I get a sense of how I can control the house at all, and like the normal or anything like that? Any insights into what the house can do?
No, but you're pretty sure all those arcane locked doors you'll be able to get through like a boss with this ring.
Yeah.
Professor, let us see your daughters.
You feel that
to
the
safety.
you feel that the place has been fed.
Well, that's a relief, I suppose. I'll pick up the rune encrusted skull.
Okay.
I suppose we should be going.
Just a slight feeling of dread when you pick up the skull. Otherwise, it's just a skull.
I suppose thank you for not killing me, though I suppose now I suffer a fate worse than death, so thanks for that as well. Not talkative still. Well, shall we be going? Anyway.
You pass through the Quicksilver. You get the sense that there are things floating around in the soup. There's a thought that enters your mind, Henry, that Quicksilver might actually be used in ceremonies that involve the movement of souls. A bowl of Quicksilver is something that you might find in the temple of a deity whose servants are psychopomps. It also may represent the thin veneer between life and death, amongst other things. Curious that you have a small fortune of it in the basement of your home.
Curious indeed.
The professor walks out of this place and he looks spooked, relieved, I don't know, frightened. Kind of like the professor.
I may or may not have just made a pact with the devil. Good news is the house won't be bothering us anymore. I believe it obeys my command.
That sounds like a shit trade. What would you do that for? Fuck the house, you could buy a new house.
I don't really know.
You're looking more like yourself, Professor, and sounding more like yourself.
I don't know. With my perception, I feel like he's missing a bit of himself.
Yes, well, that's kind of a draw. Lost a pinky, but kind of got a new one.
Several of us have had part of us drained away that we'll need to build back, I think.
Also got this skull here. Not really sure what it does.
That's evil. I've seen
I'm
evil
not
stuff
going to
before.
touch it,
That's
though.
evil.
Let me see. What do we have here? I've been saving this for the house. A good a time as any. I will do a psychometry check on the evil skull from the void. Let's see if it makes me insane. I mean, this day can't get much worse, right?
You're all in.
All in. He's like, this is the
Many
last
things
game
to
I ever
identify.
play.
At this point, let's see what happens. I
Sure.
will
Bye, Professor.
concentrate on the skull, psychometry 36 to see what memories I can pull out of it.
This skull is the skull of power. Your grandfather was betrayed by some of his own servants long ago that took the skull of power, removed its jaw and 4 of its gem-like teeth. The 2 teeth that are missing were gemstones, as well as 2 teeth in the jaw. And you're pretty sure that it was wizards in the arcane order, the Arcanacrum, that betrayed your grandfather's trust. You would recognize these things should you see them. In fact, you are now considered to have seen them.
Well, it seems the Arcanacrum stole this from my grandfather, took its jaw and 4 gem teeth. Seems a shame. You make a pact with the devil and he gives you broken items. You'd think he'd give you something a little more complete, but you know.
One of his servants, in a panic, brought the remaining skull here, which they hid in the circle, and may very well have sacrificed their life to hide it.
It seems they hid this skull to protect it from the Arcanacrum, who, knowing grandfather's reputation, were probably more what you'd consider the good guys.
You don't know exactly what the properties of the skull were, but this skull, you know, made your grandfather leaps and bounds more powerful than his contemporaries. You're talking artifact, perhaps.
Do I get the sense that it still works even though it's incomplete? Do I feel more powerful?
Well, with the knowledge that you have something that you could put together, maybe.
Well, I suppose we need some more pieces for it to really be up and running, but one artifact of the necromancer.
Interesting.
I would like to be getting out of this basement soon, though.
Let's do that.
That would be nice, yes.
Hopefully we can use these things to learn more about the pearls and where they rest and how to escape them.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
The crawling claw crawls up to your other hand and kind of taps the ring a couple times, and then goes up to you and is trying to get your attention.
Yes, Ikimeister.
It starts to mime or like hand signal that ring, black door, upstairs, library, go through.
Yes, I suppose we did come here for the library. Shall we be going back upstairs?
Oh, yes. Do you think that maybe we should see the library tomorrow night and not tonight?
Yeah. At this point, all I really would like would be maybe a cup of tea. Maybe we should sit down and lie flat for a bit. I'm not really sure what happened in there, Pharisee. There was some sort of pact between Ashardalon, Baba Yaga, and someone else sworn in there. I seem to be perhaps a servant to something dark and evil.
You fucking what?
Yes, I'm not really sure what happened, as I said.
That seems like a terrible idea.
They didn't really give me a lot of choices.
You could have not done it.
Wasn't really explained what I was signing up for. Not really a contract.
Did you at least find out that the gem was a totally evil person and like maybe we could just get out on top here because like you did a good deed.
Are you sure you want to know the answer to that? Hey, let's take the other gem out of this statue. Let's make sure that we maybe I can fly over and like tie a rope to it and we can drag the whole thing, or I don't know. Somehow we should be able to get this other gem as part of our treasure.
Yeah, well, by all means, I'm going to sit down for a minute over here.
Okay, so Pharisee, you're gonna fly over and get the gem.
Yes.
Okay. You can lift 50 pounds, right?
Actually,
That's a question.
the sheet will tell me that is below my heavy load.
Okay, so yeah, you are like
Below my heavy load
struggling, and you're able to fly without getting wet or into the
Yeah.
mercury poison. But yeah, you do
Nice.
you do bring the remaining parts of the head. It's like the gem melted through the back of the stone skull and disappeared. Like you didn't see where the one with the soul went, but there's definitely a
Interesting.
glittering gem of significant value still in the skull.
Good. Hey, while I'm there, can I just kind of make a mental note of what the pattern looks like? I may not be able to actually glean anything too useful from it. I'm not going to stay and study it.
From what school of lore are you looking at the diagram?
I am going to go with planes.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Knowledge planes. Knowledge planes is one of my better ones too. 1d20. Sorry, 1d20 plus 22, not plus 238. Should we keep the 16 though?
Sure, unless you want to roll again.
No.
It's like you got a 20, sir.
Kind of like
Hit
I've
me.
been having. 38 seems.
38?
Yeah, that seems fine.
Oh, Pharisee, this thing really gives you the creeps. It, from a planner perspective, says something along these lines. Within the boundary that is unbroken of this place, we three agree to divide all souls into 4. One between each of us and one to the owners of this place.
Night, guys. I need to log off tonight.
Yep.
Have a
Good luck
one,
tomorrow. Get some rest.
Thank you.
They agree to divide the souls that what?
That are within this place that is unbroken and contained.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Notice that the sigil is not broken in any way. It's a giant circle.
Yeah. All right.
I will command the unseen servant to rub my shoulders in a vain attempt to comfort me.
The unseen masseuse. It does a poor job because it doesn't really have any skills or anything, so it just it's too hard, too soft, in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand, muscle
So
versus
pinchy.
bone. Right. It is a vain attempt indeed. Pharisee comes fluttering back over with the heavy thing. The strain of moving the 50-pound object is masking any worry that she may have of what she just looked at.
I suppose you got a look at it while you were in there, Pharisee.
A bit.
Any idea what I just did? I'm not quite sure what I signed myself up for.
You'll have to write it down while it's still fresh in your mind. What was the pact? What were the terms of the pact?
It wasn't really explained to me.
Oh, write down what you know. We'll deal with it in the morning.
Oh,
I am feeling very drained.
that's probably a little bit too big for me to eat.
Yes, we'll just carry it up.
Okay. I'm sorry about your books, Professor. I didn't mean to barf them all up.
Oh, my books? What?
That's right. He never did see it, did he?
It's all right. Zephyrius picked him up. You're good. They're just a little sticky.
Oh, okay. Someone fancy some tea?
We need to find a way to protect our souls tonight, lest we lose a part of them for good.
Oh, is that a concern we have this evening?
Those that were touched by the vampires, yes.
Oh, well. Yes,
Luckily, we can probably pay for the type of healing we would need.
we should certainly do that. In any of those books, did we see any manuals on how to use the house? I don't recall.
No, you did not see any manuals on how to use the house.
You didn't really get a lot out of this pact, did you, Professor?
I seem to have gotten a slightly worse pinky and a broken artifact.
Well, the broken artifact might be useful.
I mean, it could be
And
really
how about
good.
that ring?
Yes, well, it was my grandfather's arcane bond. Surely it was quite useful to him. It will help me open some doors in here, I know that much. Beyond that, I don't know. Bed of swords. Go up and down really quick, I command you.
Okay, so you reach out your hand and shing, all the swords go up. You didn't
Well,
have to pull the lever.
We got that going at least. Go back down, bed of swords, I command you.
Okay, as a move action, you're able to raise and lower the bed of swords.
Hey, all right, here we go.
This will be fun at parties.
House, I command you to have tea ready for me by the time I get upstairs. Does anyone hear a kettle going up there?
All right.
Pretty sure the door's shut on the way up. Didn't we learn that? Maybe you could command that door to like open or something.
I would hope so.
You get back to this intersection.
Spiked pit trapdoor thing, I command you to close and not
Yeah,
open up.
it's
when
more
we
like
walk
you
over.
reach out your hand and you can kind of like reach and concentrate on it, and you're able to close the spiked pit hatch.
I'm on a roll. I will walk across without a thought to any possible danger.
Okay.
I will go around.
Okay, the trap doesn't go off for the professor. The rest of the party meets you by going around. Arguably the shorter way.
Oh, hello, girls.
Christina
nice
and
to see
Henrietta are looking at you.
you. It's nice to see you. You're welcome for not being sacrificed to the house, so don't thank me all at once.
What is he talking about? Says Christina. She seems to have gotten better.
Oh, great. Oh, I was really worried. Oh, look, the door's not even shut anymore. Wow.
Nope, the door is not shut anymore.
Okay, up the stairs.
The party goes up the stairs, all the way to the attic.
Hello, Grandmama. You'll never guess what I just did.
She,
Yeah.
your grandmother does appear. Where is her
Yes.
token? a second. I dragged her into the darkness somewhere. She and almost like politely just stands there and looks down.
Yes, lovely to see you. Civility truly is reborn. How about delighting us with a little tune while we relax after our trials? What do you say, Ramama?
She smiles a wicked smile that only the undead could love and obeys. There is an edge to the music that she plays.
Here we go.
There is your grandmother's harpsichord music that starts to emanate throughout the house, eerily through the vents and the doors. Henrietta and Christina are just gawking at Henry.
All right, we've got some traps. Grandma's much more polite. That's a nice plus. I wasn't expecting, at least.
I feel like you kind of took away her free will.
Well, she took mine away for quite a few years, so favors returned. Down we go. It's quite drafty in here. House, fire up the fires if you can.
Yes, you are able to light the fireplace by reaching out and just sort of commanding the fireplace to.
I assume that's what this thing is here.
Yep.
Yeah, I will reach out and heat this place up. My old bones have a chill. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this was truly worth it. Is there a pot of tea on the stove?
Henry Sinclair, I do swear.
Not now.
The ghost of your wife comes flying at you and angrily presents herself in front of you.
Oh, please let me have control over her. I command you to leave me alone.
Control over me?
Oh, God. Tea, please, please.
There is no tea in the kitchen.
Quit your blubbering and do something useful.
I will crawl out of the kitchen.
Okay.
Mother, she all right?
Yeah, I think there's some of her left if you want some.
I'm afraid she's dead, girls.
Christina,
I'm afraid she's undead, girls.
Christina seems to like this affects her like this is the first time she heard it. Henrietta ends up spending time consoling her sister. And you can hear the ghost of Lillian Jane Merriweather complaining about how they overcooked her and how dare they
I'm gonna look for things that might help me survive the or might help me make the saving throws to avoid these negative levels becoming permanent.
How dare they serve her with such bland sauce and have such poor table manners? Henrietta and Christina are now bawling.
I'm also crying in a sobbing heap on the ground here.
Okay.
It's all starting to finally dawn on me what has happened.
You sold your soul for a fireplace starter.
Zephyrus, perhaps we should not spend the evening here.
Why? We own the house now. I sold my soul for it. Why not get a good night's sleep?
Yes, because I'm not convinced we'll get a good night's sleep here. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sleep? I don't know if I'll ever taste it again.
Let's try, but maybe somewhere else. Have we searched this place and found all of its, all of the things which might benefit us?
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. This house is
Oh,
kind.
right.
There's
We have the downstairs.
Yes, there's all sorts of other places to explore.
We'll come back here tomorrow when I have more fireballs, says Zephyrus, and then we will go to the library. I'm interested in
That
learning how it
sounds
is out of
fine.
phase. How it's not seen on the outside.
Oh,
Yes.
you
Perhaps
know,
it is in another plane.
The library annex, says Henrietta. Christina's still bawling. She just found out her mother died.
yes, it is right there under the stairs. We have the key now. But Zephyros is probably right. We should probably come back tomorrow. We are this close, though.
You're all right, Professor.
It's been a bit of a day, Fergus. Bit of a day.
Tell me about it. When we were in the basement thing, that dude hit me like twice. It was pretty rough.
Yes, well, I believe I've eaten my wife. I sacrificed my mother to make a deal with the devil.
Grandmother!
Sold to ancient gods and sources of evil. In return, I seem to have a quick starting light for fireplaces and trap closures. As a lighter pinky. So
Henrietta and Christina have lost their mind. They're now crying and kind of like striking Henry in this kind of like.
Whoa! All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you win. Your day was worse than mine. Sorry about that.
Oh, I won. Oh, what did he win?
I mean, well, the fireplace does look pretty warm.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Zephyros at this point in time is trying to edge Henry and his two verklempt daughters out the door.
I want my fireballs back.
Yeah, I will.
I need some sleep.
I'm pretty pliable right now. So
Yep. Amongst the treasures was the other half of that shield. That's pretty cool.
that is excellent.
Nice.
Oh, there are two Grimlocks there. No, they probably ran off when their master died. Let's just move them into the darkness.
If not, we'll just kill them. They were not.
Yep.
They were not a super challenge on their own.
Thing where we're going to, well, it depends how you handle this. There is a carriage that is not your own. It is a grim-looking carriage.
Oh, this is the
two very
the vampires.
temperamental-looking horses that are kind of strapped to the carriage. And there's this gigantic man that looks like he's passed out. Henrietta and Christina immediately recognize him and they go running over. Oh no, it's Mr. Mump. And they go running over to check on him.
Who in the hell's is Mr. Mump?
He's heavy. What did he do? I think he was trying to get in.
Whose carriage is this? Those aren't nightmares, are they?
I would assume it was Baron Arkminos. He is a powerful vampire lord, or was.
The marks of their very warm
Hoofs.
horseshoes
Oh yeah.
are burned into the ground, and the snorts that are coming out of their nostrils suggest that there is like a small furnace kind of burning inside their lungs.
I'll just keep my distance.
This could very well be the carriage of Baron Arkminos.
There may be documents inside, though. Perhaps proof of his involvement in the Blood Veil.
Yes, there may be. Oh, I'll extend my hand out. Let's see how far this thing goes. Horses, calm yourselves.
The ring does not seem to have any power over the horses.
Oh, good. It was getting a little too powerful. I felt the better of the deal. Anyone have any ideas how to tame this wild carriage?
Well, I've got one.
Yes, well, we always have that one, Fergus. Any other ideas other than the kitty?
No, I mean, don't we still have like a vampire body in that sarcophagus? Couldn't we just like puppet it and be like, "Oh, horses, listen to me. I'm a mean vampire. Take us away."
The body turned into like gallons of blood,
Oh, that's
which
right.
is still icking up the sarcophagus.
Okay,
The
I'll
the
cover
skull,
myself in the
there's
blood.
still a burned skull of a vampire. Like you've got proof you fought a vampire.
I pick it up and I move his jaw. Oh, listen to me, horses. I'm your master now.
Oh, let's not provoke them.
Okay, they stamp a little bit. One of the horses said something to the other one.
Was it in Uracino?
It is
Or Aquin?
no. I don't know.
I think they'll let us ride.
They. What are they going to do?
What are nightmares? They're what are they even? Are they aberrations?
I'm pretty sure they're undead. I think they're like spectral horses or something like that.
That is not our master's skull. Perhaps it is. That is his sarcophagus. What did you do?
And they kind of like try to confront you, Thurgus, but they're horses in kind of strapped into this carriage. One of them
Are
snorts.
you guys there?
Yeah.
I stand
Oh,
my
there we go.
ground and I stare him down. I'm like, all right, look. So maybe you don't believe me. The point is, I killed every fucker in that house, and if you're out here, somebody in there's dead. So I'm pretty sure you belong to us now.
They
Do you understand what I said? I killed everyone in that house. Raw.
all right. One of them seems to huff a lot of smoke, but it's not hurting you at all. The other one seems a little
I
bit
have
more.
a little bit of firepower left.
Seems a little bit more wary, and give me an intimidate check, I guess.
Okay.
You can add 4 because you are showing them that you killed their boss, and you can add 2 more because the threat is actually significant.
19.
All right, the DC to demoralize things are 10 plus their hit dice plus wisdom modifier. Are you fucking
Close.
I have no idea what the hit dice of a nightmare is.
Oh, it's 16 plus their wisdom modifier plus 3 is 19. I'm going to say because Thurgus is considered a large creature when appropriate, that there is no size penalty difference. So you do calm the one that's snorting all the smoke down, and for now at least, the 2 nightmares pulling the grim wagon have slowly bowed their heads.
Beautiful. Just
All right.
needed a ride. Thank you, Thurgus.
Yeah, sure thing. Apparently, I'm very good at pantomiming.
I'll make my way over to get into the carriage. I've had enough of this day.
Okay. The carriage is opulent on the inside, although it's missing any comforts for someone who is living. Like there's no drink or food.
One last thing, I suppose. I will turn back to the house and I will go, house, lock yourself up real nice and tight. Don't let anyone in until I come back. You
Okay.
hear me?
You reach out and you're able to pull some of the inner doors closed. You're able to pull close the outer doors, and you do feel like your connection, it listens, but you need to like concentrate on individual things. The house isn't really an entity. It's almost like you need to reach out to specific functions and then command them.
I'll let myself get lost in it for a while and sort of feel out what would respond to me as I try and
Okay,
close
you
them
can
off.
also close shutters on the windows. You can also tint the windows so no one can see through them.
Yeah, I'll do everything I can to make this place as secure as I can while I leave.
Okay. Maybe deep under there's an entity. Oh, there's definitely a lot of magic flowing through this place. You can tell that basically the professor is casting spells or doing something as he's pointing his weird new ring at the house. It gives off even a little bit of a foreboding aura at the end, and you can notice that like a few rats and a few birds go fleeing from the house.
Nice. Well, I suppose we're all locked up.
The horses, they have sharp teeth. They growl a little bit when anyone approaches the front of them. Professor, you're just getting into the back?
Yeah.
I'll get into it somewhere. Wherever it looks like is a reasonable place for me to sit.
All right, Zafira stuffs in the coffin, and
Am I really going to be the one to drive this thing?
You seem to be in charge of these horses.
All right, everyone. And I try and find some sort of like leather thing that I've seen people shake.
yeah, one of the horses actually says to you in common, "Where to?"
You guys speak common. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Okay. Where the fuck are we going? And I knock on the door.
Yeah, there's a little like window kind of that slides open between the driver's compartment and the grim carriage. The grim carriage also has a space underneath where the floor of the carriage is. Did you just lock your daughters inside? Oh no, they're fussing over this very large man thing.
Yeah, have they noticed that we're all just like casually leaving?
Yeah, you notice Henrietta is like, father.
Yes, Henrietta.
Could use some help. We could use some help over here.
Can you just leave the ogre alone for a while? It's been a long day.
He's not an ogre. He's our friend. He's a flesh golem.
Oh, your friend? Is he taking a nap? Why is he laying on the ground?
I think he fought some things out here. It looks like he's hurt.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, flesh golem.
We've got his patch kit, and you could see this very dirty and bloody bag with spare parts in it.
Okay.
Spools of really thick thread and some needles, like a needle kit.
All right.
Your daughters are more interesting than I initially thought, Henry.
Yes, well.
Zafiro steps out, and he finds that... Notice how the carriage is raised a little bit? It's like you've got a compartment where people can sit, but picture like a big compartment under where the floor is, where you can actually push. It's big enough for coffins to fit into.
Nice.
It's like the carriage was built with transporting coffins in mind. Like you could actually fit 4 coffins underneath the door. So Zephyrus just slides the whole coffin into the grim carriage.
While we're here, I'd also like to bring home the petrified fairy.
Okay. Didn't Makronam swallow
I
that?
thought Makronam has it, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Makronam has it. That's true. Cool. Oh, man. Makronam has it. We could have sacrificed her. Anyway.
It's too late now, buddy. Too late for all of that.
Could have saved your mom, dude, but no. Oh, well.
Too late. You know, add it to the list.
Pharisee never would have suggested that anyway. Pharisee likes fairies. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we didn't know it was in the gem. Too
True,
little,
true,
clear.
true.
All right. It doesn't look like Henrietta is able to it. There are some rules about patching golems. Like she'll have to wait to another time. You guys could definitely move the golem into the undercarriage of the grim carriage.
Yeah, we'll
That
do
seems
that.
like a good plan.
Okay.
Slide him on under.
Yeah, with Thurgus and Zephyrus' strength, you're able to kind of slide the golem, who has equipment. He's like wearing leather